Folks, you're going to like this segment because I think Mike did a really excellent job with these questions. Because I really had to think about, I think every one. There might have been one I answered quickly.
I struggled with a couple of
Some of them were really tough.
There
was one that was easy. I can't remember which one it was. I'll point it out when it comes up. But the rest were all, I could go either way.
I struggled with the first one.
I don't remember the order, so go ahead.
Well, let's get to the first one because the first one almost had a unanimous answer. The question was, will the Guardians win at least 93 games this season?
This was a tough one.
Yeah.
And the results would have been unanimous, except I don't like when it's unanimous because that means we're always wrong. So I said no just so we avoid the unanimous answer, even though I think we'd all go over.
There's a decent chance you're going to be right. We're all kind of prisoner of the moment.
Well, I mean, if they play 500 the rest of the year, they're going to be 90. They'll be right around 90 wins.
Right. And it's possible they might only play 500 the rest of the year. That's not crazy.
But, I mean,
hopefully not.
But 500, only a couple games over 500 gets you to 93. Like, if the question, honestly, if it was 95, I probably would have been a no. If it was 94, I'm like, 93 was right on that threshold point. Right. And I said yes. I originally was a no, changed it to yes, probably should have stuck with no, but I think that's right.
It's right on the borderline.
Spot. They're going to fall somewhere between 90 and 94 probably, more than likely.
Now, if they're very aggressive in trades, they could, it's possible they could win 100.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But, it was close. Earl? It was easy for you?
It was easy for me based on just what Jason said.
Yeah.
If they play at minimum 500, they get to 90 wins, and I don't think Stephen Vogt is going to let this team just play at minimum 500 baseball.
Mike, why'd you go no? Just to be contrarian?
Just to have one person on the no side because I feel like, and I don't have the numbers, but I feel like 85% of the time when we are unanimous in these, we're wrong.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be wrong.
I don't know if that's
even
true,
though I went against it just to be the one against it. All right. Question number 2. Jose Ramirez currently leads Major League Baseball with 56 RBIs this season. He has significantly more, 7 more than anyone else in baseball. He has 10 more than Juan Soto, who's second in the American League. So the question was, will he finish the season as not Major League Baseball, but just the American League's leader in RBIs? And we had a pretty split answer here. Myself, Earl, and Jay all said yes. Jason, Tyvis, G, and Bull said no.
Yeah.
He was in this spot a couple years ago, leading the league around this point. Injuries are always a factor. He tends to fade a little bit at times.
Yeah.
So it's not any indictment on Jose.
No.
I look at the Yankees lineup and think, it'll be one of those guys.
Yeah, Soto and Judge right now. Like, the Yankees lineup is back to what it was a few years ago. And Soto has made a huge difference in that lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of under the radar. Alex Verdugo is really good in that middle of the lineup. They just got DJ LeMahieu back. I know he's old, but he was still pretty good last year. And for once, they've stayed relatively healthy. Stanton's been, decent.
Yeah.
And Volpe, obviously, batting high in the lineup.
Great as the leadoff.
So they got a lot of guys on base. I just think Judge and Soto, one of them will probably overtake him. He could definitely win it. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And I think he'll, at worst, be top 5. But, I'm with Jason. I think one of the Yankees guys eventually passes.
I think he gets it. I think he's going to go on to break Manny Ramirez's team record for RBIs in the season. I think he'll be the American League leader in RBIs. This is what's going to happen.
He's going to get 160 RBIs?
This is what's going to happen. See, you all are you can't see into the future. Bad job out of y'all baseball guys.
Yeah.
You set up here and suggested a trade for Bo Bichette, right?
Yeah.
The Guardians are going to make that trade. Quan is going to come back healthy, right?
Yeah.
Ramirez is going to move further down in the lineup, and he's going to get more RBI opportunities because the guys in front of him are going to continue to get on base. I think that Stephen Vogt's philosophy that he changed, having them be more aggressive in the count, more aggressive hitters at the plate, I think if he doesn't get hurt, this is sustained. But I think the Guardians are going to make a move. He's going to move further down in the lineup, and he's going to get more opportunities to get more RBIs.
I disagree that he's going to move further down the lineup. I think he's going to stay in the 3 spot. But if they got Bichette, in theory, you'd put him in the 2 spot probably. Either way, you'd have a better hitter in the 2 spot than you do now. You certainly would have Stephen Kwan back, so there would be more RBI opportunities. I don't think they drop him in the lineup because then over the course of the season, he's going to get less trips to the plate. And I don't think they want to do that because he's their best all-around player.
But it is a good point that Kwan's missed the last month.
Yes.
And he's still driving in runs.
When Kwan's arguably the best leadoff hitter or one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, next one.
Next one. At the moment, Emmanuel Clase has allowed 1 earned run in 27 innings. His ERA is a 0.33. So the question here is, Will Emmanuel Clase finish the season with an ERA under 1?
To me, this was the easiest one.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I went the same route then.
Yeah.
The answers, Tyvis and Jay said yes, he will. The rest of us said no.
Yeah. And that obviously is no knock on Clase.
I mean, it's just one bad outing.
Right. He gets blown up one game.
Right.
That's it. You can't.
Three or four runs in one game. That's it.
So, now it's a little different with a starter, but the Cubs have a starter named Shota Imanaga, who's a rookie. Came over from
He's
Japan.
been awesome.
His first 9 starts, he had an ERA of like 110. I think he'd only given up more than 1 run in like 1 game. He'd been brilliant. Last night he got smoked by the Brewers. It was his first beat-up. And his ERA is now whatever it is, over 2. You know, and with a relief pitcher, you can't make up that blow-up because you just don't pitch enough innings.
Right.
And the only way you can have an ERA under 1 is if you never get blown up in an entire season. Now, if anybody's going to do it right now, it would be Clase because he's the best closer in baseball. But even Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, Lee Smith, all these great all-time relievers have at least 2 or 3 games a year where they get smoked.
Yeah.
And you have that makes it impossible, no matter how good you are in the other ones, to be under 1. If you'd said under 2, I would have been with you. Not under 1.
2 would have been too easy, I felt.
I guess.
Maybe 1.5. 1.5.
You probably should go 1.5.
All right, next one. I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw Dontrell Willis. Remember Dontrell Willis, the pitcher for the Marlins?
He's you know how Guardians fans, as an Indians fan, you have all these terrible memories with the Marlins and for those years. But to me, Dontrell Willis against the Cubs gives me the willies.
I ain't got no love for Gary Sheffield. I ain't got no love for Moises Alou.
Livan Hernandez.
I ain't got no love for Livan Hernandez. No. I ain't got no love for none of them.
So Dontrell Willis is working with Fox in their MLB department, and he put out his quarter season awards. This was middle of last week.
Yeah.
Or the end of last week, excuse me. And
okay.
For his AL Manager of the Year through the quarter mark of the season, he went with Aaron Boone over Stephen Vogt.
That's ridiculous.
So my question to you guys was,
yeah,
will Stephen Vogt win AL Manager of the Year?
Now, let me say that I'm not a big Aaron Boone fan, and obviously you got to give him credit. He's done a very nice job this year. But it's ludicrous to vote for him over Stephen Vogt right now because the 2 teams have basically the same record, and more people thought the Yankees would be good than the Guardians, and that's what it's all about. Now, in fairness, the AL East is a better division, but still, I think Vogt can easily win now. So that being said, will he win? What do we say?
The answer was a 5-2 split.
Yeah.
All 3 of you on the panel, plus G and Tyvis, said yes. Me and Jay said no.
McNuggets. Why'd you say no? Who do you think's going to win?
I don't have an answer. I just thought, although right now I think he's Manager of the Year, I don't think they can sustain this hot of play. And for a Guardians manager to get that kind of reward, I know Terry Francona has in the past, it has to be a special season. I don't think they're going to finish hot enough to have the momentum to win the award in the voters' minds.
That's where I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree with him too.
Yeah,
I think
they
can sustain this.
Hot.
Now, they can't
they
can't collapse the last 4 months.
Of course.
But if they win let's say they won 91 games, which would mean they played mediocre baseball the rest of the way.
500.
If they win 91 games and win the division, I'd still say there's probably a 90% chance he wins the award.
He should win it. He's a rookie manager.
Right. Now, if the only way he wouldn't win it in that case, if the Yankees won like 110 games, something crazy.
Right.
Or like the Mariners won the West maybe, and they won 100 games or something like that. But if the Yankees win the East with 100 wins and the Guardians win the Central with 92, Vogt's going to win.
I just like the odds of the field there. It's not as Vogt's the favorite. I just like
I get what you're saying.
You know when you're betting on golf and it's like Scotty Scheffler or the field. Even though Scheffler's the heavy favorite, I just like the odds of the field better. So.
And the man who I can't even think of who it is now, the manager of the Royals. I mean, he's in the mix right now.
Oh, he's definitely in the mix.
He was here.
Yeah.
Matt Cortaro. I always
I can't pronounce it.
And
He's done a
Baltimore,
great job because
He's
there
done
was
a
even
great
less
job.
thought about them than the Guardians.
Yeah, that's a great candidate.
He's a great candidate.
He
right
might
now.
be.
He should be in the mix.
Yeah.
Right now, the top 3 would be those. Aaron Boone, Vogt, and Cortaro.
Would Baltimore's manager still be in the mix? I know he won it last year.
No, because they were expected to be the best team.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The Coach of the Year award, and this is no offense to Kevin Stefanski, Jason, but you know this, and you and I both love Stefanski. It doesn't go to the best coach. It goes to the best coach of the most unexpected,
the most
successful
surprising team.
That's what it is. It's not. You're not.
Usually.
Right. Most cases.
Yeah.
Most cases. So, you can't win if Brandon Hyde's done a magnificent job as the manager of the Orioles. They were patient because when he first took over, they sucked. And they were patient, and they stuck with him, and he's done a great job there. But he won it last year, and everybody thought they'd be the best team in the American League. And they're right around the
Has Boone ever won it? I think it's hard for those.
Because they've been mostly disappointing since he's been there.
And it's hard for the big payroll, big market teams to win this award.
People always talk about a big market bias. I think in awards like this, there's an anti-big market bias.
I agree.
Boone has not won. I just looked up.
No,
Boone has not won.
I don't think he ever deserved it.
Yeah, I'm like, what about Boston?
Nah,
I mean, Francona won it in Boston.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that was World Series teams.
Yeah.
Like that's kind
of. Well, Joe Torre won Manager of the Year awards.
Torre did win,
but the Yankees were so good in those years, no, I would probably vote Aaron Boone third right now, behind Vogt and Cotaro.
Two central managers.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. Yeah, and it's nothing against Vogt why I voted no. I just like the field and those odds.
It's nothing against
this
Vogt
next
to
one
vote.
is a 3-4 split. One of the ones that is perfectly cut the UCSS panel in half. Gavin Williams was supposed to make his first
This was a tough one,
AAA start yesterday. His first rehab start. The game got rained out. I think he's supposed to pitch tonight.
I wonder if that affects Quan coming back Friday. I'm guessing probably no, but
no, he'll still be back Friday.
The Guardians, nice for the Clippers.
Yeah.
The Guardians tweeted out that the first 15,000 fans get Stephen Quan jerseys on Friday, so I would assume Quan's going to be there.
By the way, Guardians and all teams, not just the Guardians, you can't be doing this first 15,000. Give it to everybody that comes to the game. What, the organization can't afford another $10,000 jerseys?
Are they going to have more than 15,000 there?
The way they're playing, they better. It's a weekend.
I'm going tomorrow.
Is it the Nats or the Royals?
It's the Nats,
right?
but it's Dollar Dog
Tuesday,
Night.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, it'll be packed.
It's also Saturday, by the way.
If it's Dollar Dog Night,
yeah. Dude, we got to go to a Royals game next week. You want to go? Who wants to go? We should all go.
Let's do it.
As a crew.
All
right,
I
we'll
definitely
talk
think
about it
we
later.
All right, so Gavin Williams may or may not make his first rehab start for Columbus tonight. I'm not quite sure.
Why would he not?
Have they officially announced that he's going to start tonight?
I assume he was supposed to do it yesterday.
I thought this one was easy. Go ahead.
Well, the question was, by the way, whether he starts tonight or not. The question was, will he make at least 12 starts for the Guardians this season? Jason, myself, and Tyvis said yes. Earl, G, Jay, and Bull.
You said yes?
Yeah.
Said no.
He has to be back. I mean, he can't get hurt again.
Well, this is funny because you think I said he could come back a little earlier than you, and yet I said no, and you said yes.
Well, if he's back by August 1st, he's going to make 12 starts.
No,
60,
he wouldn't.
60 games. August and September, 2 months. It's basically 2 months. It's basically 2 months.
So
he has to be healthy for 2 months to make 12 starts. Maybe 2 months in a week. So to me, I was like, well, unless he gets hurt again, if he goes down again,
60 days.
You pitch every 5th day times 12 is.
Well,
60.
it's a little more than 2 months because you're not playing 60 games in 2 months.
So that's 2 months in a week. But I mean, I think.
But remember, if he comes back the beginning of July, you got the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be by the time he comes back, there's going to be what 80 games left. It's half the season.
If he makes 2 starts in July, 3 starts in July, which
Right.
he'll make 3 starts in July, it leaves him 9 for August and September. I think it's now. If he gets hurt again, he's not going to get there.
Yeah, you're
But
talking me into it.
Yeah, I said yeah.
I'm thinking half a year. You usually make like 13 starts in half a year. And I'm worried, like, are they going to be extra cautious? Could they go at least temporarily to a 6-man rotation? And that cost, maybe falls just short. But all right, you kind of talked me into it.
Yeah, I think he'll make probably 14 to 15 starts this year.
I just want to see him pitch.
Aggressive.
The anticipation of seeing him pitch all year long.
I
I just want to see him pitch.
The thing that just pisses me off is like, it was supposed to be a 2-week injury,
Right.
But the Guardians always do.
Yeah,
this.
they never. Yeah.
So I mean, we were under the impression he was going to be back in April,
Right.
And now, and I know they had to shut him down again, and you can never foresee that.
Sure.
But when you're expecting to see a guy in April, and it's now going to be late June or July.
Yeah, it's a big difference. All right, Mike.
Moving on to the next one, guys.
Is this the last one? Or is there one more?
No, we got 2 more.
Okay.
Will the Guardians have 7 or more players finish the season with double-digit home runs? Right now, they have 2, Ramirez and Naylor. But David Fry has 7, Brennan has 5, Jimenez and Freeman have 4. They got a couple guys with 3, but the question was 7. And this was another one where we had a 4-3 split. Jason, Tyvis, and Jay said yes, they will.
I did? I said no.
I'll double check my texts. But on the graphic, it says Jason said yes. So for the sake of this, Jason, you said yes.
Well, Tyvus had to say yes.
Tyvus definitely said yes.
Yeah. When I looked at it, obviously, as you said, they already have 2. David Fry is a near lock to get there, right? I don't know that anybody else in this team is a lock to get to double digits besides the guys who were there and David Fry. Now,
and Jason did text yes for the record. Jason did text
for the record, Jason.
Well, Jason has a.
Did you make a mistake?
I should have been a no.
Well, what I was saying is David Fry is going to get there, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's 3 guys.
Yeah.
There's nobody else I could say with certainty is going to hit 10 home runs.
Correct.
Right? So there'll be a couple of others. Between Freeman, Jimenez, Kwan, they'll maybe even if all 3 of those guys got to 10.
Jimenez will get there. I do think Jimenez will get there.
And like Freeman and Kwan got a shot.
Maybe.
That would at best put you to 6. Who's the 7th?
I got a question. There's 2 guys.
Bo Naylor.
Bo Naylor.
Bo. No, Bo. But listen,
that means
it's
Jimenez,
2 guys.
Bo, Kwan, and Freeman all double digits.
I got a question. There's 2 guys that just got called up that's going to be here. Both have not hit their first career home run. What's the chances that Jonathan Rodriguez or Manzardo hit 10 home runs this year?
I don't think Rodriguez has any shot because he's going to go back to the minors soon.
You think so?
Probably.
Could be this weekend.
I think the question when Kwan comes back, do they send Rodriguez down or they move on from Florial?
They probably send Rodriguez down. Well,
they could move on from Florial because he's not playing much.
I've seen enough of Esteban Florial.
If I were them, I'd stick. But even if you stick with Rodriguez, how much is he going to play once Kwan's back?
Right.
So that's why they might send him down anyway because you'd rather have Florial, playing once a week than Rodriguez who could play in the minors. Now,
I got a follow-up question from the baseball guys. Okay, like from what I've read and what I've heard from people that's experts, he's supposed to be your future in the right field. So if Kwan is in the left and you like the Tyler Freeman experiment in center, why not just keep Jonathan Rodriguez up and let him get the experience?
I'm not ready to say he's the future in right field.
Yeah, I don't think he's a sure thing prospect.
No, he's the right now. He's the good enough for right now guy. I don't think he's the long-term answer.
Right.
Maybe he winds up.
I think it's more about Manzardo. I wasn't really thinking about Manzardo. I think he could hit 10 home runs. I like the way he's swinging the bat lately.
He's getting very comfortable.
Yes. And so, all right, I'm going to think about this again. Obviously, you got 2 guys that are there. Fry's going to get there. I'm going to say Manzardo's going to get there 4. I'm with Jason. I think Jimenez gets there. That's 5. Now, can they get 2 other guys between Bo Naylor, Tyler Freeman, Stephen Kwan? I thought Stephen Kwan was going to get 10 this year, but he missed a month. Right. He's just not a power hitter.
I don't think Brennan's getting. Maybe Brennan gets there. I think Brennan's got 5, doesn't he? I think Brennan's
Brennan at the moment has 5, correct.
So he's on pace for 13.
Yeah.
We're talking ourselves into it here.
I'm still saying no.
I say they fall short, but I think they get 6.
This is what happens when I try and go in my mind, yes, no. Just respond all at once, and then I mess it up. That's on me.
What did they have last year? 2, 3?
Last season, give me a sec. I got to switch the tabs. In the 2023 regular season, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Well.
But now, we say 6. You ready for these? Arias had 10. Josh Bell and Bo Naylor had 11. Jimenez 15. Naylor 17. Jose 24.
Yeah, now, obviously, Naylor and Jose are going to hit way more than last year. David Fry, how many did he have last year? He didn't play that much.
David Fry last season
2, 3 home runs.
4.
I mean, David Fry, I don't know if he'll keep it up. He's on pace for like 20 home runs.
It's insane. I can't believe Arias hit double figures last year.
That is hard to believe.
He's got, what's he have this year? 1,
2?
2?
Gabriel Arias has 1 home run.
Yeah.
He's been awful.
That guy drives me crazy because I was all in on him.
You said he got all the tools to be.
He does, but.
Go get me a shortstop, will you?
Well, that's a great segue to our next question because our last question for No Fence Stars, I have had fun with this, but we got to do some Guardians ones more.
Yeah.
Will Brian Rocchio or Gabriel Arias, pick your one, be the Guardians' full-time shortstop by the start of the playoffs?
I hope not.
Nope.
3-4 split. Tyvus, G, and J said yes. The rest of us, including the 4 of us here today, all said no.
Realistically, it's probably yes.
It probably is, but we're both hoping they make a trade.
I'm hoping they make a trade. But if I'm being totally honest with myself, it's probably a yes.
Well, I'm a homer and an optimist. Yeah. We're going to get Bo Bichette.
That's a rough combination in Cleveland.
So,
well, the shocking thing about that is Jason's not like he's very grounded about the teams making trades.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have as much hope as you do, even though you overstated it a little, makes me feel better. I just feel like they got to do something.
It's too important of a position.
Yeah.
You can't and maybe one of these guys figures it out.
I got to start thinking also about we're talking about Bo Bichette. He'd be ideal, but there probably are some other shortstop.
You could
options.
go get Ahmed Rosario and he'd be better than these guys.
You know what's funny about Ahmed Rosario? In April. In Fuego.
Yeah.
He was great in April for Tampa. He's been awful in May. That's who he is. I mean, when he's hot, he's fat. He doesn't hit home runs, but when he's hot, he's great. He can hit 400 for a month.
Yeah.
But then he'll hit $150 for a month.
Yeah. There's 100 guys you can go out there and get that are giving you more than what you're getting right now.
Can you stir up some stuff and see if we can bring Frankie home? Maybe that can get him back
We talked
together?
about that. It's just they owe him for like 7 more years.
It's just too much money the Mets would have to eat. I just don't think that's realistic at all.
7 years, $34 million a year is his contract.
Yeah, that's insane.
They'd have to
eat $20 million per year
for the entire length of the contract.
For the whole thing.
If I'm them, I'd rather try to hope he turns it around.
Absolutely. There's no point in that.
Yeah.
Especially giving him back to the team. You already gave him Andres Jimenez.
Right. You don't want to.
Now
they would never trade him to the Guardians.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, guys, we're going to move